Alright guys, so in the process of making a fuel tank. It's a cylinder-like tank. It's going on I want to say it's like a 31 Buick, like the old race cars. This is for a customer that's actually the guy who I built that Riddler car with. He's in the process of building another car, and I kind of want to show you guys. So it's going to basically look like a drum, like a 55-gallon drum or whatnot. So what I ended up doing is I cut round blanks, and this is for a plasma cutter, but it's a great tool to make circles with a permanent marker. I've got them cut out. So what I'm doing is I started English wheeling it, and I couldn't get the crown fast enough, so I ran over the planishing hammer and basically just domed it out real quick, went back over to the English wheel, and then just gave it kind of like a smooth, took out all the low spots, stuff like that. So I got a bowl. I got to do this one the same. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to come in here in a 1/2-inch flange. You got to shrink it. It's an outer curve. You're going to have too much material as you fold it, but I'm going to fold this over to basically a 90 and basically have an end cap. I got to do 2 of them, and then I'll roll a piece of sheet metal. I'll roll it, clamp it, get it where I need it. These will go in the sides, and then the reason I'm putting the flange in here is when I put the sheet metal cylinder piece over the top, I can really burn in the weld, so I know that it's sealed. But he didn't want a radical dome, kind of like a semi truck has. He just wanted something that didn't appear flat. So I think I've kind of achieved it. Once it's painted, you'll see that it's domed out. But I'm going to go over, I'm going to pre-stretch this to get it to where, so when I first English wheeled it, it gave me this curve. And I'm trying to work the wheel so it does this curve. So you got to wheel it to pre-stretch it, and then once you get it, you'll just pop it, and it'll hold that shape. And then I probably wheel it 1 or 2 more times after that. Then it's kind of holding shape. Then I'll run over the planishing hammer and I can beat it up faster. Then I'll go back to the English wheel and smooth it out. What I'm going to do is I got to make 2 of them identical. Obviously you can't see them, so it's going to be relatively close. But what I've kind of done is, if you could lay a straight edge with a gap in the center, and obviously on the other edge across, if these 2 points are touching, this measurement and the outside measurement should be the same. If it is, then you know, and then you got to turn them 90 degrees to make sure it's the same, because it could be falling off one way or the other. So I'm going to get back to wheeling this one, and this one's pretty much done minus the flange. Once I get both of them up to the height, then I'm going to go over the bead roller, fold the flange over, and I'll have my end caps done. Alright, so I got them planished, English wheeled, and the lips folded over, as you can see. And I got them, you can see the crown in them, very little. But if I hold them like this, you guys can see I got 2 of them that are the same. So now that I have that edge fold over, like I said, when you fold this over, you're going to have too much material. So you can go back to the shrinker and stretcher and true it up. And that's how you get it. Basically, you want this outer edge. You don't care what this back here looks like. You want this to be straight. As you can see right there where I'm holding it, that I need to stretch a little bit more as it bows out. But other than that, there's your dome if you're trying to create a tank or something. So now I could wrap my tape measure around this, figure out how much material I'll need, and start making the rolled tank itself. Alright guys, so still on this tank, I got the end caps done. I went and had a local shop slip roll this for me. I measured it out, so I have a 3/4 inch overlap. And the reason why is because I'm going to put a bung at the bottom, and I don't want it to be on one material thickness. So basically if it bends or something, it don't kink the tank. It's actually stouter. I'm in the process of cutting the necks down that I received from the customer that has the caps, and I got the holes blown in, and I'm kind of leveling them and stuff like that. I'm going to get those tacked all the way around, And then once I do that, I'll go in and clean the tank, and I'll get the end caps on. And as you can see, it's a pretty good sized tank. And then here's the ends. And the ends are really tight, so I'm gonna have to like pop them in. But I think it looks starting to look pretty good. And then I gotta wait for some, there you go. And then these are the caps that we're using. And there's one on each side. So it's a pretty good sized tank. I'll get the end caps in, and then I'll get those TIG welded. On the bottom, what I did is after the overlap, I had it all clamped. I went in and stitch welded so it wouldn't like pull apart. I just stitched it on the back, on the inside seam, on the bottom seam, on the outside I welded it solid. So I'm gonna get back to leveling these off, getting these somewhat tacked, and then probably go in and clean the tank really good with acetone and a rad microfiber, stuff like that. And then I'll probably, I've got to flip it over and drill a hole for the bung or the petcock. So basically, when I go to weld this up, there'll be no shavings, no debris, no nothing in it whatsoever. So that's the way I like to build the tanks. Some people, drill and stuff after because they're afraid it's going to move, but I'd rather have a brand new tank on the outside and a brand new tank on the inside. No debris, no shavings to get rid of or try to get out. These openings are big enough. I could wipe it all down, and if I do have shavings, I could stick a vacuum down there and suck them up, but I'd just rather be safe than sorry. So I'm gonna get to leveling those off in both directions, and then I'll probably tack it in. I gotta tack it this way now because I've got them on the center line. And then once I get those tacked, I'll just keep moving forward. But as you guys can see, the tank's turning out pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with it. So let me get this done, and then I'll kind of get everything kind of sealed up. All right, so I got it all welded up. Got the end caps on, TIG welded. I ground down the edge just for the finished look. Got the baffles in, got everything done, and I had to build some aluminum plates, put some foam in there to cap these off. And then I have these special fittings, AN fittings, and what I do is I charge it with air about 10-15 pounds, and then I spray it with Simple Green, any type of soapy water, Windex, anything like that, and it'll show bubbles if you have any leaks. If you have no leaks, you're good to go. If you have some leaks, clean it off, weld up the holes so it's all airtight, and then you're good to go. So I got all that finished up, and then I had to machine a bung, a weld-in bung, and I just did that out of 1 inch in the lathe, machined it down, and then countersunk the other side so the gas kind of flows to it. And that's quarter inch pipe thread. So I got all that. I'm just waiting on the brass petcock, and then I could ship it. So that's the finished product of the tank. Hope you guys enjoyed this video of kind of making it. I could have went out and bought a round pipe, but trying to find it that thin. So I just ended up, using a slip roll. Took it to a local shop. I had the ends made first, so they slip rolled it to my end caps, and then obviously my end caps went in, and I basically TIG welded all the way around both sides, and then I have some baffles in there that you'll see throughout the video of like pictures of them. I just made them real quick, put them in, and kind of did a couple tacks. I just need something to slow down the fuel from sloshing. The customer wanted baffles. Most tanks don't need baffles that I build. It's a hot rod. If you've got a gallon of gas in there, you need to keep your foot off the gas pedal and get to a gas station. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys aren't a subscriber, click the bottom link down at the bottom, become a subscriber. If you have any comments, shoot them over to me. I'm more than happy to help you guys out. But I'm just kind of showing you there's multiple ways to do everything. They probably do sell these, but you could easily make them too. As you can see, that's how much crown's in it. Not a lot, but enough to give it some strength. So you guys stay tuned, and I'll have some more videos coming your way. This one was kind of a little bit more, I guess you would say, intense. It's been hot here and working in the shop and then trying to get all this stuff done, and I had to make parts to make this thing actually work so I could pressure test it, because I don't have anything that can, you know, seal that up. That's a 5-inch opening, so had to make little caps with some rubber underneath that I could tighten them down and then seal it. So you guys stay tuned. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I think you guys can learn a lot from, like, that's a round tank, that's a rectangle tank. It's all basically the same thing. It's holding gasoline, that's all it is. So see you guys next time.